Welcome to another video of Wusik Station version 8. Going to do just a quick introduction here to how the interface works and everything else. Okay, the first thing to notice on the Wusik Station that you have the file browser here on the right. You have the older legacy presets, the new presets, the older sounds and the new sounds, and you can redimension just using this icon here at the bottom right. Make it smaller or larger as you want. I'm currently running in Save Host, so this keyboard at the bottom here is from Save Host, not Wusik Station itself. It's just a virtual keyboard from Save Host. You have also some settings by clicking here on the Wusik logo, and you have several settings you can select. You can show and hide the tree browser, and show again. And you have three areas: the layers, the effects and master area on the bottom here, and the modulation matrix for all the layers. So let me load the preset here. Let me say I'm going to load this one. This is actually from the third-party set, the ambient drums volume 1. So I have two layers here, wave sequencer 1 and a wave sequencer 2. So for each layer I have all the settings here, and also the modulation is per layer. So if I have, let's say here, an LFO assigned to the sample player, let's say fine. On the second layer it doesn't show because each layer has its own settings for the modulation matrix, LFOs, envelopes. So if this layer, let's say on layer 1, my envelope is very slow and I have a very long modulation envelope here, on the second layer you can see that there are other settings for those. The same goes for the modulation sequencer, arpeggiator, key switch, keys for everything. Each layer has its own settings. And you also have the master modulation for the effects, but some options are not used. So if you add a new modulation, you're going to see that only the XY pad, the MIDI CC and LFO can be used on the master area. On the other areas you can use all the options you can see. Then on the master I have the master tuning, master MIDI channel, and each layer has its own MIDI channel too. And have a master output, stereo, the limiter, tuning and fine tuning, which is applied to all layers. And each layer has its own settings for volume, pan, as you can see. And I can have multiple effects chained together on each of the same effects, and also insert effects. So on layer 1 I can have, let's say, double chorus and also a multi-filter. So now on layer 1 I have effects, insert effects, and layer 2 I don't have any. You can see here I have the two effects as insert, and on send I also can add other effects. They are going to chain, and you're going to use the wet and dry to select how much wet and dry signal are going to go to the next effect. The same goes to the filters, because you can change several filters and even mix and match different types of filters. And you have options for each filter, and you can also select parallel processing. On Wusik Station 7 you have a button for serial parallel, and now you just select parallel processing, otherwise it's going to go in series. And you have also the basic stuff for these layers, zones, number of voids. You can also select high quality for each layer. And on version 8 you can add different type of layers. So you have your sample player, the wave sequencer, tree oscillator, super oscillator, draw wave oscillator, and the audio looper, which takes the audio input to work as a kind of vocoded effect. And the sample player, you can see here, it has also more granular synthesis right here. And on another video I'm going to talk more about granular synthesis. And here on the modulation matrix you can add very quickly. Let's say I want to use the MIDI CC1 here, MIDI CC1 for the filter frequency. So now I have MIDI CC1 for filter frequency, and I can select what's going to use as the MIDI CC, the MIDI channel control. I think that's 7 is volume, 1 is mod wheel. So if I select learn and move my mod wheel here, it's going to set as 1, as you can see. Then you have this multi-number of options for the MIDI C. The aftertouch is separated, so you can also add aftertouch to something like the master layer volume, let's say. And you have also multiple envelopes. You can add multiple modulation envelopes and multiple LFOs. The modulation sequencer is a polyphonic sequencer that you can use as a modulation source. Let's say, let me load preset here. So you can see it's polyphonic, so each note is going to get its own modulation sequencer. And you also have key switching, so you can use key switching to select different type of layers from the keyboard. And of course the arpeggiator. In this case it's going to retrigger the modulation sequencer. So let me click the key sync. So you can see that it's very easy to use the interface. You also have the right click for each parameter, so you can learn MIDI CC for that parameter. So let's say here on the master layer I have the volume I want to learn. So I can use now my modulation wheel for the volume. And I can also just select center value or control click. And I have other options going to show on the next videos. And each layer you can right click on the layer number and you're going to have some hiding special options. There are special selected for that layer. So you can see you can do a lot of things with Wusik Station. And this is pretty much it for this tutorial.